Book went for 70. 70. And we saw in the bubble last year what Devin Booker can do. The point is, let's just boil it down, Perk. How many of those dudes do you have, the special players? Wiggins is a nice player. He made real strides this year. I'm not disagreeing with you. The Suns got 2. The Warriors got 1. The Suns got 2 guys in Chris Paul and Devin Booker who can kill you.
Who are the Warriors knocking off? Perk, I need this from you. Who are the Warriors going to knock off a 7-game series? Talk to me. Give me teams.
I mean, they can knock off either one of them. They can knock off the Utah Jazz. They just beat them. We don't know when Donovan Mitchell or Mike Conley is coming back, right? We haven't had an update on that.
Okay, so
and
Utah.
Max, that was Molly, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
But my blood pressure went up. Max, you're talking about, Steph Curry never had 70 and Devin Booker did. Right, he did have it in the regular season, but tell me when Devin Booker didn't ever played in the playoffs and had a 40-piece. He never been. He never been.
Just give it a couple
Devin
weeks.
Booker when it mattered the most.
Give it a couple weeks.
We know what Steph Curry could do when it mattered the most.
Give it a couple weeks. By the way, my point was not that Devin Booker has proven himself in the playoffs more than Steph Curry. Although Steph Curry choked in plenty of finals before this last one against Toronto where he played very well. He had never been as good as he was in the regular season in the finals, ever in his career, until the Toronto series, which, by the way, they lost. Let's be honest. I'm not trying to argue Devin Booker's more proven than Steph. I just want to point out, when you're talking about Steph Curry is capable of doing all these things, Devin Booker in an NBA game scored 70. This dude is unstoppable offensively, and Chris Paul is in the MVP conversation.
Max, you know what? This is the problem that I have with you, all right? when you go back to switching the narrative and moving the goalposts to make your point, all right, because you're the main one that always come on here talking about how regular season stuff don't matter to you, and it only matters the most when it's in the postseason. Right. That's why you discredit James Harden so much. You remember those arguments? Always downplaying James Harden. That's not impressive because when it matters the most, he disappeared. And now you about to sit up here and tell me about Steph Curry, a guy who probably have some of the best moments in playoff history outside of LeBron James
not
and Kawhi
finals
Leonard
history.
In this modern day. Max, you have to get to the finals. People forget about that first, second, and third round, and you just want to hold the finals against Steph. Think about what the Warriors had to do to get to the finals. Think about those
Steph's one of the greatest players of all time. No one's saying anything else, but you were trying to pretend that in the finals in the past, Steph, I'll say it again, until the Toronto series where he hit big shots, Steph had never been his regular self.
You're forgetting the biggest point. Don't you remember he wanted Iggy to take the last shot, not Steph? Remember that?
Yeah,
that was this Max Kellerman who wanted Iggy, not Steph.
By the way, and with the fate of the universe on the line, I wasn't wrong then. Iguodala had ice water in his veins. Steph choked in the finals. Steph was the point guard. And Steph was the conductor of the greatest half-court offense in the history of basketball. They were at home, Game 7, fourth quarter, 4 minutes and 22 seconds went by. They didn't score a point, a single point.
Yeah, Perk.
Let me tell you why he was wrong, okay? I had front row seats to that game because I was in that series because I was on the Cleveland Cavaliers. I was averaging 3,000 claps per game, warming the bench up. And our game plan was to make Iguodala beat us. We put all the attention on Steph Curry, and we said that we're not going to even challenge. We totally disrespected Andre Iguodala. He had pregame warm-up shots. He better knock him down. He's a professional. He had wide-open shots.
Perk,
but, man, stop.
Perk, hold on. Don't try and twist what I said. Perk, don't try and twist what I said. I was very clear. I was very clear when I said it. I'm not talking about who is more dangerous, who's going to get their own shot. I'm saying an open look at the basket.
Andre Iguodala should take last shot, not Steph Curry. I'm reading the headline right now for you. So I have it right here.
No, but I said open look at the basket.
They didn't put that in the headline. They misquoted you.
So, open look at the basket because I saw Steph Curry choke too many times with good looks in the finals.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.